It was a happy homecoming for the Decorah Vikings last week as they ended up with a 42-0 win over Mason City on Friday night. Head coach Pat Trewin joining us. And coach, got to start obviously on the defensive side. Most importantly, the other night, anytime you pitch a shutout, it's a good thing. Multiple turnovers forced, a couple of safeties thrown in there as well. What made your defense click last week?
Well, they're certainly prepared and aggressive. Had a scheme that was very sound and got after the line of scrimmage. The conditions didn't make it easy on anybody with all the rain. We were able to take advantage of that much more than the other, than Mason City. But certainly prepared, attacking, flying around, just like you'd like to see Decorah football.
And offensively, a pretty good night as well. 324 yards of total offense, 254 on the ground. Obviously, the ground game was going to be important in a game like last Friday night with weather conditions, but you proved you could throw the football in those conditions as well. Where was that happy medium? How was that happy medium found?
Yeah, we were really pleased to be able to do that. I mean, I got to give a shout out to our Grace Tungan and Graham Kittleson for keeping the balls dry all night. We think we went through 7 footballs just to try to do that, and then you do your best to handle it the proper way and make some timely calls. And we got to thank Coach Riley and Coach Kemple for the timely calls, and the kids pulled them in. We might have even pulled 1 or 2 more in, but the ball was really slick for most of the night. You could see that with especially the punt game on both sides. Those long snaps made it difficult for them and for us. We made a halftime adjustment thanks to Coach Tungan, and we were able to come through by handling the ball and not giving up any points.
When you go about assessing a game last week, do you assess it any differently, knowing the fact that Mother Nature gave you a few challenges?
Certainly just a little bit. You're going to have that mistake or two. You hope that you're really securing it. The best thing is, still not turning the ball over, getting on top of footballs that happen to go on the ground, and not having too many of those kind of things. But then are the assignments blown? You can do that any game. Are you doing the right thing? And for the most part, we made the adjustments, and the assignments were okay. We had 1 or 2 things that we would look at and say, we got to do this right all the time, and we didn't do this one thing right. But you look at the overall game, and each phase of the game, each phase was pleasing.
And individually, as part of that running game, Dakota Johnson, another 150-yard night, 3 touchdowns, and he did it just on 16 touches. What has made his play so consistent this year?
Well, certainly he's patient with the hole, and then when he sees it, boom, he hits it. The line has really done a nice job for him too, and the scheme, being able to create some space to work with. And if he can create some space and get to that, even to that second level, he's got the moves and the speed to be able to get a burst, to get the huge play, and that's such a great thing. And he certainly had the most yards as a running back that we've had in a long, long time.
And you're just past the halfway point of the season itself, 5 down and 4 to go on the regular season. When it comes to your offensive line, how have they grown since week number 1, since preseason camp?
Well, it's been consistent every day in practice, working on being physical, working on your first steps, and then adjusting with little assignment changes at times, following their rules. We've added a play or 2 as the year has gone along, but the physicality, and I'm sure the belief in themselves. We have a couple guys in there that didn't play all the time last year, but the improvement is seen in the film too. People getting after it all the time, knowing that our team depends upon the line really blocking and getting after it. That's where it starts and ends.
And this week, you make the trip down to Waverly Shellrock. Go Hawks have yet to win a football game this year, but their strength of schedule probably has good as any team in Class 4A to this point. What are you expecting out of the Go Hawks come Friday night?
Oh, it'll be a huge battle, rivalry game, homecoming game. Their chance at a first win. They're also, we both know that at least for them, if they can win and win out, they can still make the playoffs. It sounds strange, but they just got to get second in the district, and they could do that still. They lost to Western Dubuque, so they still have their eyes on it. And of course, it's one of our goals. I mean, that's our seniors have never beaten Waverly Shell Rock, and they know how good they are. They know how big they are. So we expect it to be just a huge battle. We got to throw the records out, but you always say that is cliche, but it's really literal this year. They are a good football team. You see things on film, and we've got to get after it to get the victory. There's no doubt we're going to have to make things break our way.
All right. Hopefully that's indeed what happens come Friday night. Keep your guys healthy, Coach. We wish best of luck.
Thanks, Darren.
Head coach Pat Trewin, Decorah and Waverly Shell Rock this Friday night.